Hey peoples, this is another movie review of Holiday Rush. As always, I want to thank you for listening, that really means a lot to me. And on to this horrible review. Holiday Rush is a Netflix film, and according to Netflix, the movie is about a widowed radio DJ and his 4 spoiled kids that need to tighten their belts and pull together when their life of luxury turns lean just before Christmas. And if that's not enough information, basically it's about a DJ and his kids, and the DJ's radio station gets bought out by another company, and he gets fired for some reason, and he wasn't really in the business of saving, so his family has to cut back on certain things like living in their expensive house and Christmas gifts and things like that. So basically the movie is him trying to reconnect with his spoiled kids and also regain some type of employment. And that's really the movie. So this movie struggles in so many ways. It's dull a lot of times, mostly because the comedy in the movie doesn't work. There's bad acting from the kids, and overall, the story just doesn't work. The movie never sticks its foot into one complete storyline or fully fleshes out a storyline, but let's get into that story. So, right off the top, the story makes no complete sense. A company buys the radio station and then fires our main character, Rush, who apparently is #1 in radio station ratings. The company wants to go in a different direction, which is mainly pop, and he deals in hip-hop and R&B. Which, okay, fine, but why fire your cash cow? It's like if Disney bought Pixar and then fired all of their animators. The point of buying an entertainment company is specifically to buy the talent. I understand the company wanting to go in a different direction in regards to pop, but you don't fire the guy. You might move him to a different time slot, but it makes no sense to fire him. One of the weird things is that when the new president or CEO, whatever her title is, of the radio station fires him, for some reason she has some vendetta against him to make sure he doesn't get back on the radio. I don't understand the point. First you fire the talent and you want to get rid of him because you want to go in a different direction, but also you don't want him to be on the air at all because he's so big. Well, if he was so big, then why not keep him on your radio station? What sense does that make? And the rest of the movie plays out as her being a constant roadblock from him getting back on the radio, but they never explain the reason why. I was hoping maybe he did something wrong to her in the past. Maybe they have a past relationship, something. It's just nothing. She just has it out for them for no reason. Never met the man before, but just doesn't like him. I don't know why. But let's call that the A storyline. The B storyline has to do with the kids, but there's just so much to talk about there that I'm going to say that to the end, and I want to touch on a few points before I even get to the kids, who I just wanted to push off a bridge. But a few more things about the story overall as it regards to the writing. It seems like the writers just wrote a first draft and didn't go back and write a second or third or fourth draft. And the reason I say this is because things pop up in the movie that weren't there initially, and it feels like it's just random. So as you watch the movie, it's like, oh, here's a new story element, but why didn't y'all introduce this earlier in the movie? Why now? And it makes the movie feel even more rough than it already is. And a couple examples is after about 5 to maybe 10 minutes, the movie starts counting down Christmas. I don't recall the movie doing that initially, but once the man gets fired, they start counting down Christmas because that's important. Second random thing, ghost wife. Yes, that sounds random, but I don't know how else to explain it. Our main character is a widow, and ghost wife appears, and he's talking to her. It would have been nice if this was introduced earlier, as if he always saw her maybe, but no, just this moment, there's ghost wife. And I think I get what they were trying to do, but it just feels random. It feels so random. Also, the romantic situation in this movie, that starts out of nowhere. So we have our main character, Rush, and his producer. Now you could probably guess when the movie starts that they're going to end up by the end of the movie, but the movie shows no inkling of them actually liking each other. There's no signs of flirting whatsoever. But then after our main character has a one-on-one with his ghost wife, as dumb as that sounds, the ghost wife mentions that it's time for him to move on, find that love, and she's the right one. After she says that, then we get little cute moments between them from then on. But they weren't there before. It would have been nice if they were there before and you saw the hesitation between our main character and his producer, thinking like, no, I'm still getting over my wife, and so on and so forth. But none of that. They're just friends. But then after the ghost wife says you should go after that producer, he's like, okay, time to make some cute moments, and that's what we get. But moving on, the movie also struggles with editing. It has random cuts, and it doesn't know how to handle multiple similar scenes at the same time. One simple mistake in editing they make is that we see 2 characters walking down a hallway, and the movie has 3 cuts in it. Nothing happens between those cuts. It just shows them walking down a hallway. It cuts, then they're a little bit further down the hallway. Then it cuts again, and they're a little bit further down the hallway. Don't know why they did that whatsoever. But there are a few times in this movie where they cut from one scene to the same scene, but just characters in a slightly different location. In regards to them having a problem editing multiple similar scenes, like I was saying, in this movie you have the annoying kids struggling to deal with their new lifestyle. So we get a scene of the father talking to his daughter, and simultaneously we get a scene of the kids' aunts talking to the main character's son. The father and the daughter are inside the house, and the aunt and the son are outside the house near the basketball goal. And they're both pretty much having similar conversations about, this new life and dealing with it and figuring it out. But they cut between them so poorly that we don't get full emotional moments between either one of them. So when they cut back to one of them and the grown-up says something emotional and we're supposed to really feel it, we don't, because we didn't get the full conversation. But anyway, moving on to the main problem of this movie, the kids. I hate these kids so much, and the movie makes you hate them so much. So the premise of their storyline, or what's supposed to be the premise of their storyline, is that they're rich, spoiled kids and they have to deal with downsizing their life and not living a life full of luxury. But that's not what really happens. For one thing, the kids continually blame their father for their situation. It doesn't make sense because the man didn't quit. The man got fired. They act like their dad just walked into his job and said, "I'm done with this," and felt like downsizing their life, which is not the case. But that's how they continually talk to him, and that's how they continually treat him. Like, look what you've done to us. This is all your fault. And there's no sympathy whatsoever. None of the kids actually care about their father. They're not like, "Hey, are you okay? Oh my gosh, Dad, what are we gonna do?" Even if you want to focus on them being selfish, just make it so these kids are ignorant and acting like their father just quit his job and put them in this situation, because that's not the case. One really annoying part is that our main character's son, he has his own storyline about getting into college. And when his dad loses his job, he basically blames his dad and says, "Oh my gosh, now I can't go to college and it's all your fault." And I'm thinking like, your dad is a radio DJ. He is not a billionaire. What prestigious college are you going to off of his finances? None. You can go to community college. There's no way you're going to some Ivy League high-priced college off of a DJ's salary. The whole time I'm watching this movie, I'm like, did this kid not try to get any scholarships whatsoever? He was just gonna pay for everything off his dad's wallet? I'm not sure how much radio DJs make, but I'm pretty sure they don't make that much. But back to the storyline this movie pretends to have. These kids are supposed to be adjusting to living a less luxurious life, and we really don't get that. The movie cuts away too much to focus on the dad and his job stuff that it doesn't show the kids actually having to adjust into this new lifestyle. They only have 2 moments showing that they have to readjust to a new life. One was a line about one of the daughters saying, "Oh, that's my bathroom time, I better go in there now." And also another scene after dinner where the aunt says, "You have to help me wash the dishes." But we don't see them wash the dishes. We don't see them do anything. These kids learn nothing. Absolutely nothing. The movie tells us they've changed at the end, but they haven't done anything. They don't know what real poverty is. They don't know what real labor is. They don't know what actual house chores are. None of that. We don't get to see them do any of that. And because we don't see it, it doesn't feel real. And these kids are basically the same by the end of the movie. But I've dwelt on this too much. Let me hurry up and wrap up. A couple more random things. Too much makeup. What's up with all the caked on makeup? I don't understand it. Why is the makeup so bad? Our main character mentions Saint Nick a couple of times, but they don't really put that Santa Claus element in this movie, so that felt kind of random. And lastly, which I guess could be a spoiler, so spoilers for this movie, but our main character puts up his own billboard in the movie, and this is after he lost his job and financial restraints and stuff like that. They don't explain how they got the money to put up that billboard. Billboards cost a lot of money. Trust me, I know. I looked into it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Do not waste your time on this movie. Oh my goodness, these kids suck. But that's all, peoples. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the likes, the thumbs ups, the subscribing, the retweeting, the commenting, all those things. I really like the comments. Please continue to have a great day. God bless. I'll talk to you later.